Carpet cleaning is not for everybody. You do have to have a little bit of business knowledge so that you can operate a business. You want to learn the tools of the trade. I'm using a green brush to pre-agitate. This is a little thicker pile carpet. I want to get the solution worked down in those heavy traffic areas. But like I say, I get a lot of guys and gals that try to contact me and want advice or want to schedule a Zoom meeting and discuss what they need to do to get into business. Beautiful views here, by the way. I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. I'm too busy. I'm an owner-operator, so I'm running my business, and it's full-time for me, so I don't have a lot of time to do that. So I apologize, but I do let people know, and most of the people are very polite. I appreciate that if you have questions, leave them in the comments. If I don't answer all the comments, I'll try and think about what you said and maybe do a video on it. And I also recommend people go on to the Facebook group PADLIFE, PADLIFE. And there's a lot of veteran carpet cleaners on there that will, with an accumulation of all of them, when you ask questions, you're going to get some really good responses. There's a few really good veteran cleaners on there that will give you the advice or point you in the right direction. Just remember, when you do ask questions, even in my comments or on the Facebook page, don't put a whole book out. Don't start from A to Z and start asking every question out there, because nobody's going to take the time to answer you. Just start out with a couple questions at a time. Hit the group up daily, and if you read the other comments, other guys and gals are probably gonna ask the same information, same questions you are. It'll be very helpful. But I am very appreciative for all of my subscribers and supporters on my channel. So please don't take it wrong. I just don't have the time to do stuff like that, mentor people or coach people. What I do is, when I have the opportunity to use this smaller machine, the Auric Orbiter, 24 pounds that is, I take the time to put the videos on this channel and help people who are interested in getting in the business, maybe starting up. Get a lot of home cleaners that add this into their routine, so it can be helpful. You can kind of copycat. I don't hide anything from you. I'm telling you what I'm using, how I'm using it, what chemicals I'm using. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm simply sharing the information. Years ago, 30 years ago, when I got started, there was no YouTube people helping me out. I had to learn everything on my own. Started out as a helper with Stanley Steamer, went through the IICRC certification, and just continued to learn as I went along. So you people who have access to YouTube, wow, amazing. I wish I had it when I was learning the business, because you can pretty much search whatever your questions are, and you can find that information pretty readily. Just be real careful who you're taking advice from. You want to make sure, that you're not getting the wrong information. Could end up costing you your business or getting sued. So you want to be real careful, but the approach that I'm showing you is pretty much foolproof. The products I'm using are safe. And so what I'm doing here is pre-scrubbing the solution into the carpet fibers. The solution that I'm using today is 2 ounces of Green Dragon per gallon of water. I use my 4-gallon jug or 5-gallon jug with 4 gallons of water. I've boosted with about 16 ounces of Go Oxy, which is a brightener or a hydrogen peroxide, about a 15%. And I've added a couple ounces of Simply Citrus, which is D-limonene or an orange oil, totally plant-based and friendly, no toxins or anything. That's to help break down the grease, kind of like a degreaser. So you got your brightener, your degreaser. Peroxide also works on organics, which organic stains are pet urine, coffee, tea, blood, tomato juice, anything that's natural, not synthetic. Your synthetic stains might be Kool-Aid, various other things that are not organic. And so you're going to need to kind of look into different stain types, maybe Google it, find I think Coit, C-O-I-T, Coit carpet cleaners used to have a really good index on their main website, a stain removal guide. You could type in ketchup, or you could type in peanut butter or slime or tomato sauce, and it'll tell you home remedies, how to do it, so you can get some ideas of what they're using to remove different stains. That's going to be helpful for you in the beginning. And then excuse me, if you're going to get into this, you're going to want to know how to identify your carpet fibers, because most of your carpets are going to be nylon, polyester, olefin, different synthetic blends that you can clean pretty much with most general cleaners. And if you're doing wool or silk or cotton blends, you're going to want to make sure you're using something that's safe for those products so you don't ruin them. They're very expensive. You can't use your typical detergents on those. That's why the Green Dragon, when I recommend Green Dragon, it can be used on everything, and it's not going to hurt wool. It's not going to. I've used it on viscose, wool, cotton, upholstery, tile, wood. Used it on everything. Now, you cannot boost and add the Go Oxy to the solution or the Green Dragon if you're doing wool. It'll damage it, because the peroxide works on oxidizing organic stuff, and wool is organic. It's hair. It's like sheep's hair, whatever you want to say. So you got to be real careful. You wouldn't really want to add the D-limonene, the lemon oil. That probably leave a residue, might have too high of a pH. So just the Green Dragon, and you'll get into that as you advance, but the majority of the carpets you do are probably going to be just your builder grade stuff like this, which is going to be nylon and polyester. So pretty simple. You really can't hurt these ones. Just use, the proper stuff. Make sure it's made for carpets. Don't build your own concoction and get a call a week later and customers are saying the carpets look worse than when before you showed up. So be careful with what you're doing. So I pre-scrubbed all these. I did pre-vacuum everything with a commercial vacuum to pull up all the dry soil. I didn't add that to the video. Then I pre-sprayed everything nice and evenly. Then we worked it in with the green brush. Now I'm going to grab that pad driver down there on the lower left. It has Velcro on the bottom. I'm going to pop that onto the cup here. Got to get this brush popped off. I'll do that off camera, and I'll get set up. All right. There's my 5-gallon jug. It has a 4-gallon line, and then you got your Works HydroShot sprayer. Jug runs about $15 on Amazon. The sprayer, you go on eBay, search Works, W-O-R-X, HydroShot, lithium-powered 20-volt sprayer, $79. Does a great job. You're not going to have to pump up the garden sprayer. Now, if you're just starting out and you want to start with a garden sprayer, no harm, no foul. $10, $15, you get one. Then as you start making money, or you decide that this is the business for you, start advancing and getting tools that will make the job easier. I am holding a camera, so normally you wouldn't be doing it with one hand and moving the jug around. You would hold the jug, and if you're right-handed like me, hold the jug in your left hand, walk around and just spray with the right hand, getting the traffic areas real good there. This is actually a second application after the pre-scrubbing. I did pre-spray it and let it sit or dwell the first time for about 10 minutes. Let the Go Oxy, the peroxide, do its work, and the D-limonene, the Simply Citrus oil, and the Green Dragon emulsify and loosen up the soil for extraction. And then we agitate it real good. Now we're gonna use the OP pad. That's a 50-50 blend. And we'll just go over and we will transfer that emulsified soil into the pad. You'll see here the pad holds pretty good. I use about one pad per room. If it's real dirty, I might use a second pad, sometimes a third. Don't be afraid to go over it a few times. And then in this particular situation, since I did use the brush, sometimes at the end, you know, all your steps would be come in, evaluate what's going on, pre-vacuum very thoroughly. If you see any specialty spots, you want to pre-spot those and work those with maybe your drill brush or a rag. And then your next step is to evenly apply your solution that you've mixed up based on what you see and what your needs are. You could just use straight Green Dragon without boosting. It does a great job. But in this case, I can see some of the oils, heavier oils in the traffic lane. I think she said they had a lab, a dog that laid in one of the corners. That's body oil, so I need to break that down with sort of a solvent, which would be that D-limonene, that Simply Citrus. And then you would either use your hog's hair pad, your Neptune pad, and pre-agitate everything in. In this case, because it's a thicker pile, we decided to use the green brush. I will note, if you use the green brush, before you ever use that or put that on any carpet, get you a hose and run some water on concrete, maybe your driveway, and run that green brush on concrete for about 5 minutes. Break it in a little bit because the green brush is not actually the carpet brush. But once it's broken in, it's just perfect for most carpets. So kind of be careful with that. The brush will actually dig, even though I pre-vacuumed with a commercial vacuum, the green brush dug out additional stuff that was in the lower regions of the carpet that was kind of bound in there. And the Green Dragon, the encapsulation solution, probably pushed it away from the fiber, loosened everything up for extraction, and the brush kind of popped that stuff up. So my final step is usually bringing in my rug renovator, that rolling brush, and just grooming everything. If you go back to previous videos, you'll see what I mean. But in this video, you're going to see me bring in my Craftsman. It's I think it's a 4-gallon, 5-peak amp shop vac. And I've got a short hose that I took off of a vacuum, modified it so that I could carry the vacuum in my left hand, have a short hose that's flexible, maybe 3-foot hose, and then I attach the ProTeam glide head, vacuum glide head. It's kind of a purple and gray. You can find those on Amazon under ProTeam. It's those backpack vacuum systems. They use that particular vacuum head. I have a video where I think I show that if you go back, but It's a pretty simple process. You could even just use your standard, whatever comes with your shop vac, but for ease of operation, I got mine set up perfect. And since it did pop up and loosen some debris, I'm going to do my post vacuuming or my grooming with the shop vac instead of just brushing it. It'll still give us those beautiful aesthetic triangles, and it will also help to dry it since I did a second application after the agitation process. Anything that the pad didn't pick up as far as moisture, that post vacuuming is going to help the dry time. So you'll see me do that here in a moment. And these carpets, it's got that undertone to it. So they're kind of a beigey with a taupe undertone. There are some heavy traffic areas, so you're going to see those. But you see this area here coming through the door, there's some traffic. But a lot of that, for some reason, the camera will just kind of make it look worse than it is. It's just open fibers where the light's not reflecting off of it. I'll stand back at the end and I'll show you. It actually looks really, really nice. We'll get her cleaned up, and like I said, we'll get a post vacuum on it. I'll show you the pads. The big thing is you can do this. You can start at your own business. You can do it, start it part-time, if you want to. That's what I would recommend. And ask your questions on the Facebook groups. Do a lot of research. I mean, if you want to have a successful business, you're going to have to do a lot of research. And you're going to want to, watch videos, type in, VLM carpet cleaning if you're going to do low moisture. Check out all the equipment. I do use bigger equipment. I have multiple machines that I use. I just like to show this simple machine because I know retired folks could do it, supplement their Social Security. Young people can do it if they're looking to just increase their revenue so they can afford a nice car. Look at that pad. Where does the dirt go, Polly? Oh, yeah. It gets transferred out of the carpet into the pads. All right. You can see that heavy wear pattern where you first walk in the door. And then like this one here, I'll get it all cleaned up. Got my Auric all packed up, ready to go. Now I'm going to bring in the shop vac. You could see the microfiber towel down there for wiping the transition. There's that ProTeam head I kind of modified with a PVC elbow from Home Depot. Smaller flexible hose. That is a Craftsman 5-peak amp. I needed 2 hands to do that, so I couldn't show you the vacuuming. I've got it all packed up, getting ready to head out that door. I will bring this out with me. You could see, again, you got a lot of shadowing and undertones in the carpet, but really, really came out nice. Here you have the main room here. Again, looking nice. A little bit of heavy wear where you're not going to see that real shiny reflection ever again. Let me step back, like I said, and show you. Looks great. You can do this. Get the self-taught education, watch my videos, keep researching, and I'll see you in the next episode.